reason I got started in real estate was because of David Green. We were at the soccer game, our girls went to school together, and he says, do you know anybody who knows how to speak Spanish and can do real estate? And I said, me.
Yeah.
So that's how I got started.
The way I got started in business or always wanted to do real estate, I think actually it originally stemmed from my grandfather and uncle when I was 6 and less and lived on the farm with them in South Georgia. And they were farmers, but in their off season, they built a home. Or every year they would build another home, and I was my grandfather's shadow, and I used to just sit and smell the sawdust. Because back then you had to literally go to the sawmill and make your product and bring it out on site. I think that's how I really got started. I've always had an interest in it. Helped my husband in his business for years. We were at a retreaders convention up in Louisville, Kentucky. That's a tire retreader, off-road tire retreader convention. And a dear friend of mine that I had met, and she was in real estate. And she said, oh my God, I got a showing. Can you go with me? I went with her, and I was just fascinated. And she said, oh, Linda, you are missing your calling. You got to get in real estate. So I came back, and here I am. The reason I chose Coldwell is because they were the best. And this was before the technology and this and that and that, but they were number one. And I wanted to be with the best company, and I did my homework, and I wanted to be with Coldwell Banker. At that time, it was Cbssk Partners, and to get into this door and sit down and talk to the owners was like visiting the President of the United States. And you actually had to interview with each and every one of them.
Yeah,
And then I went before the entire panel, including Miss Jane Rosette, and Peter Solomon said, well, what do you think about real estate? And I said, at this point in time, I'm really tired of thinking about it. I want to sell real estate. If you don't want me, I'll go somewhere else. He said, you're hired.
And I think it's really fascinating.
With Coldwell Banker, you have X amount of dollars a month in postage. You have free access to the printer, making all these nice copies and brochures and letterheads, and you might be interested in another company. You're going to pay X amount of cents per piece of paper. You know, no postage, no nothing. So, you know, we have it here. It's just we all need to use it.
Doing the usual thing, you know, the marketing, sending postcards, doing open houses and all that. I know Bonnie has been very successful, and so are you with open houses. I am somehow, I don't know, but I'll still continue to do them.
Yeah.
I'm going to start going back to the marketing, sending postcards out, because somehow it's kind of slow right now.
Yeah.
But some of my businesses come from, just for example, one of my listings, the house I had in, for $1.2 million last year or the year before last, it was somebody I met at Kroger. Standing in the line.
Yeah, Nancy seems like
service.
that she just, as she strikes up conversations with people and she gets $1 million listing out of it.
Right, and the other one that I have right now, Perry, was through somebody at the Lancome counter, you know, at Dillard's.
Yeah,
so,
the lady said, I'm looking for a realtor and I need somebody to sell my house, and Nancy has created those raving fans. And so the lady at the makeup counter said, you have to call Nancy King. She is the best. So it ended up being the house in Perry that's listed for $1 million, what, 1.2. So that really is just kind of working and network.
The new kids on the block, the new realtors, you know, we all just literally all but begged for open houses.
Yes.
We would actually put our names on a list every Monday morning to see if anyone needed
An open house.
an open house. So that's actually how I got started, and I did open houses every single Sunday. That was my place to be. I'd go to church, come home, crock pot lunch, go to open house.
Right.
And then Miss Ann McNarl and Miss Billy Flournoy came to me one day because I was actually doing open houses by then every other Sunday for them. Miss Billy had cancer. She would not give up her business, and so they came, they took me to lunch and they said, would you commit to being a semi-partner with us in open houses at Hudson Plantation in Hudson Estates in Southern Big County? And, and I knew the reason why, and I said, sure, no problem. So that's really how I got started in new construction in this area, and it just stemmed from there. I have success with open houses. I just do. And that goes back also to listings. You give all of you into this business, and I think that stems from either being a successful realtor or not as so successful. You can walk around and moan and groan and do this and come in late and take coffee breaks and go to agents' luncheons and come back and take another coffee break and go home, and you're really tired. But if you really have a positive attitude and give of yourself and believe in yourself and believe in the business that you're in, that's all you need.
I think your attitude has a lot to do
Has
with
an
it.
attitude. It's all about your attitude.
Yeah.
When I hear that somebody wants to list or purchase a home, I will definitely call them if I know them. Otherwise, if I hear of somebody, I'll also call and introduce myself. I did that last week. I heard of somebody who was interested in listing a home. I made an appointment and I took my listing presentation and everything I do to market myself, tell them how good Coldwell Banker is, because we're a nationwide company and we're in so many websites, and we're not only in Macon MLS, but in Georgia MLS and in Paragon and Warner Robins. So, I make sure I mention all that, how much publicity we do give out.
So that's on that kind of initial conversation. You just talk a little bit about
Like,
yourself, about the company.
Get in the door and how we're different from other companies and how we're better.
Okay. What do you think?
And that's basically the same thing. I go in with a listing after I get the appointment. I go in with my listing presentation that is through Coldwell Banker. I have revised mine. I've tweaked it again with the help of Pam, and we're constantly tweaking. I tend to take out the national stats. And I focus on what's at hand locally. I do come in with a listing presentation, and like I said, I've tweaked it. But with my market analysis, I go in with a market analysis, and just like last week, I said, heck with this, let's go back and
Out the window.
let's start all over. But I have a basic market analysis with what is available at hand. I show them the active listings. I show them the sold listings in their area, and sometimes in surrounding areas within the last 6 months. The price per square foot, what I know is this home has versus their home, or what I know that I see that their home has versus another home. A regular market analysis.
Yeah.
And
do you leave
that?
Do you leave
Yes,
that marketing
I always
analysis
leave my
with
market analysis. I always leave my listing presentation.
Okay.
And within my listing presentation, again, I take out the national. It's all about Coldwell Banker, and then I have in there about Linda Davis. And what this company has to offer, what we have to offer, the MLSs, everything that Coldwell Banker has to offer. And but I leave that with them.
One of the things that I do, and we were talking about it the other day, is leaving listing presentation and the comparables in their hands is a good idea. But I also do, if I'm going to see a millennial, I know that they're not into the the papers. I know that so I'll take my iPad. The listing presentation. I do have a listing presentation that I'm updating. Angela's giving us the latest one out now, which is kind of similar to the other one.
Yeah.
But I'm also tweaking it and changing to the newest version.
Yeah.
And also, once I get into the house, I was asked, Angela asked last week, well, how do you go about this? Well, what I do is, number one, a prospective seller has asked us to come and meet with them and look at their home. Why? Because number one, they don't know what they're doing most of the time. Number two, they want a professional. Number three, they really don't have time. So that tells me that we're in control. This is our profession and we are in control. Therefore, when I come in, I introduce myself, I let them know that I would like for them to show me around the house.
We talked about that a little
I
bit
would
because we were talking about when you get to the listing appointment, do you say, show me around the house, or do you let them lead that conversation? And they all had different ways that they did it, and you guys everybody will have a way that they handle it differently.
Well, that's the way
But Linda just does take control of it. You want to have that confidence, I think enthusiasm about their home,
That's right.
finding the positives about it is a big deal to the sellers
You
as
can
well.
take a $25,000 dump and find something
That you can market.
good about it.
Yeah.
I like it when I go to people's homes for them because I'm in their home, in their space. I like for them to tell me, do we want to sit down and talk first, or do you want to show me your home? I let them sort of dictate, and then I go on from there and take control.
Right.
That's the way I do it.
Yeah.
How do you deal with a seller who thinks that their home is worth more than it is?
That is very hard.
Yeah.
To me, there's nothing worse than having a sign out front that has sat there for 6 months. It's so dirty and dingy by now. And the seller looks at it every day and gets madder at us. But they will not reduce. I do not know what I'm doing. I then ask for an appraisal. Let's get an appraisal. And actually, I'm doing that more often now up front. I really no longer like to take overpriced listings because that's what it is. It's overpriced. Unless the seller said, well, you know what, it's $10,000 more than what you're saying is worth. But if I get them to agree with, okay, I come in marketing heavy. I come in like I'm starting a race and I'm full speed ahead, and this is just how I do it. And after a few weeks, if we have a lot of showings, if it shows well, we're gonna have showings. If it's overpriced, we're not gonna have showings. So if we don't have showings and your home is just staged beautifully and everything about your home is just so enticing and sellable, we need to reduce it. So you and I have to agree right up front, I'm willing to take this $10,000 overpriced listing if in a few weeks we're gonna reduce it.
Yeah,
That's how I now
So say,
take.
Linda, that I'm the seller, and you know fully well that the max on that house is $250, and I say, Linda, I need $275. I mean, just down the block, in the next subdivision, one sold for $300.
Yeah, but
Now
you
I
take
want
the
you to
comps.
list my house at $275.
Again,
Yeah, you take the comps. I mean, when your question,
Yeah.
yes, I understand. Everybody thinks their house is worth more. I think my house that's on the market is worth more too, and I have to be realistic about it. Do you want me to put a sign there and list your home, or do you want me to sell your home?
exactly.
If you want me to sell your
That's a
home,
great
these
point.
are the comps. This is what it's what it's showing, and you also have to think, you might sell your home for $50,000 or $10,000 more, but it has to appraise.
Right.
Bottom line, so you're back at square one, so you might as well, see the reality up front and.
And if they push, that they are insistent that there should be $20,000 more, then where are you?
No, I don't take the
I
listing.
don't, yeah.
You don't take the listing. You
I
say,
don't.
you know what, I'm
It's-
sorry. So what does
Yeah.
what does that sound like? I'm sorry, I'm not the realtor for you. I'm not gonna disappoint you in 6 months when your home is not sold. I can't.
And again, just like
It falls
Nancy,
back on us.
yeah, just like Nancy said, okay, we take that 275 listing and it really comes in at 240. And then, oh wow, we get an offer on it. Were we wrong? I know we will. That our stats are not wrong. You start
Right.
running these questions.
Right.
Okay, well then you have an excited seller. You have an excited buyer. The seller's packing, the buyer's ready to move, and then the appraisal comes back. So you're back, everyone's
Yeah.
drowning by then, and everyone is so upset.
Yeah.
So
And who are they
disappointed.
upset with? The
Yeah,
realtors.
right.
Us.
So let's just do it the right way up front.
Right. And not take
Not
things
take the
that are
risk.
overpriced.
Angela mentioned, I think it was, yeah, she mentioned last week about getting back to the basics.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to get back to the basics. It's not just one thing that I do, it's everything that I do. It's just a combination, and I think a successful realtor actually gets back to the basics. I market heavily. I send out postcards. I send out letters. I mentioned when we had a meeting, that the inventory was low in an area of, I have 5 buyers, I'm down to 3, I've satisfied 2, and I did nothing but, I sent out letters to these subdivisions that I know is in this price range. There were 2 of them, and I said, inventory's low. If you are even thinking about selling your home, please let me know. So I've gotten 2 sellers, 2 buyers, I still got 3 more to go, but I'm working on it.
So just a simple letter that goes out, and with the office
Yeah.
paying for that postage, just a simple
So
letter.
it's
Put it in an
just,
envelope.
And it works out because my son, was living in this place in
Yes.
Atlanta, and all of a sudden he gets a letter in the mail.
Yeah.
Are you interested in selling your home? He said, sure.
Yeah,
So
I'm
he calls me,
interested.
and I list his home in Atlanta, and within 2 weeks we had it under, with
Under
pending.
contract.
Yeah.
and that's part of the basics.
Yeah.